how to do any of this, but I guess I'm just going to tell my story. It all started a while ago. A while ago. This is going to be before I was invited. This all started a while ago, where I was the first time I went to Xanderhal's server. I got the opportunity to talk with him, and he had me read a copy pasta when we first met. And that's all I thought was ever going to happen. But then my friend at the time told me that, oh, he has a not safe for work section now, and I thought, maybe I'll join back in. I'm a slut. I'm a whore. And that's where I joined back in. His mods had to sort through my ID, which is a TOS violation, but I honestly am not that petty to go to them, to Discord, to like announce, hey, they were doing this. Then came when I posted nudes, Xanderhal started to comment on them, give me compliments and stuff, and even though I wasn't attracted to him like that, I was only just a fan who liked his content, I couldn't help but think it was flattering. And then there was a time I went to the VC and he went to the VC at the same time in his own server, and we talked a whole bunch, and he started mentioning stuff like building a harem and stuff like that, and it's like, okay. And when then he asked me to be invited to my then server, in which he was invited, and then I left to join my own server, and he went and followed, and a bunch of people within his server followed, including my friends. This is where we really started talking about the harem idea in front of a bunch of people. Surprisingly, I'm not sure if any of them remember, but he told me in that place to get vetted by his girlfriend, Lonnie. Ilani? Illuminati? It's something like that at the time. And I remember being so excited, and he said, one of the things he said was, when this whole coronavirus thing is over, I'm planning to move into a bigger house with my girlfriend, and if you want, you can come with me. And I was like, holy shit, that's a huge opportunity, and that's amazing. I live in a really shitty trailer home, and it was an opportunity to like leave this place, which I've been trying to for like 4 years, and move to anywhere else. And I remember my friend, Pan Friday, he has autism like me, and he asked, well, are you serious? And Xanderhal had the opportunity to say no. It was just a joke. I'm memeing right now. He had the opportunity to say that, but he didn't. He said, well, I remember this. He said, no, I'm completely serious. And that's where like my idea of I'm gonna end up in a relationship with this person started. Sorry, I'm trying to that's how it all started. And he soon invited more girls. Like, he invited 3 other girls, including one that was hanging out with me. Her name was Britt. We formed this harem where it was extremely vague. Even though I knew the other girls weren't ready for a relationship, it was extremely vague if Xanderhal wanted one, since he's the one who asked me to get vetted by his girlfriend. He's the one who asked for me to get vetted by his girlfriend. He told me to get vetted by his girlfriend. Like, he claims that the server was a meme server, but why would you have me get vetted by your girlfriend if she already knows that you're looking at my nudes, and second off, we're just posting memes. If we're just posting memes, what's the point of getting vetted by your girlfriend? Did your other friend Cindy get vetted by your girlfriend? Did your other friend, I'm not going to name them here because because of a certain complication with outing and stuff, did they have to be vetted by Lonnie? Did any of your other friends have to be vetted by Lonnie? How did any of the other members get vetted by Lonnie? I don't even remember completely if Britt got vetted, or Aisha got vetted, or Michigan got vetted. I have no idea. I think Britt got vetted. I have no idea for the others. But if I had to get vetted, why? Hi, I'm just talking about my point of view of what happened with Xanderhal, and I will post the thing forever on my stream thing, so people can always refer back to this. So I have autism. Like I've said before, I have autism. So even when Xanderhal could say it's just a joke, it's not going to pass by, because I can hang out with you for 5 hours. No, I did not have to get photos of me to get vetted. I had to just talk to Lonnie about getting vetted into the, Xanderhal is Pig Puncher. He is a leftist streamer who's going on to talk about me on his stream because of what happened. Okay, so, Xanderhal, so even if Xanderhal, I don't know if he was joking, here's the thing with me, I am a very trusting person. I could hang out with you for it's it's just a can we see her outfit? It's just a this is just a choker, and I'm not showing off my plain ass shirt. I'm sorry, it's not one of those kind of streams. Maybe in the future when I have a lot of like material, like a lot, not material, but like a $2,000 where I can like buy like a streaming equipment. I'm sorry. Anyways, let me continue. Uh, so anyways, Xander, I'm a very trusting person. I could hang out with you in like within like a. Sorry, but go back to your story. Who gave photos? Oh, I did post photos of me, in his not safe for work section, but I did not give photos to Lonnie. And he would also constantly kind of, he wouldn't beg. Okay, he did beg. He constantly like begged for boob pics. He constantly begged for ass pics. He begged for pics. He wasn't subtle about it. He's uh anyways, anyways, he I'm a very trusting person. I could hang out with you for 5 hours and trust you completely. So, even if he was joking, and honestly he wasn't joking, he was completely serious about me moving in with him. He's just saying he's joking now to give leverage to himself, that he basically manipulated me. He basically, even if it was a joke, he should, even when I announced I had autism to him, he should have like taken me aside and said, "Hey, I was joking about the house thing." Okay, so moving on. There's a bunch of people who claim that our relationship wasn't a relationship of any kind. It was just yeah, give him the pics. Him be happy. Anyways, where was I? There's a lot of people claiming that there wasn't any relationship at all. Uh, Especially they're claiming that there wasn't a sexual relationship, which I do have to clarify. A sexual relationship does not equal a romantic relationship. While I did think in the future there was a possibility of a romantic relationship, uh, there was a possibility of a romantic relationship. It was it was sexual. I I sent nudes to him. Like he posted, well, I posted nudes when he asked me to, or we constantly flirted in DMs. I masturbated twice in front of him. There was obviously something sexual between us. Like, it was somewhat of a sexual relationship, even if it was a friends with benefits type of thing, and or a starting out curious type of relationship. Hey, it was obviously some form of a relationship. And there's a lot of people who are his fans for some reason claiming there wasn't a sexual relationship when there was. He got me. I was vetted for her ex-boyfriend. Kind of. Not really. Xanderhal was not an ex-boyfriend. He was more of a. a leftist streamer who manipulated me. It was. Thank you, Brett Kim. I'm not that fine. Anyways, anyways, later, within a few weeks, I had a breakdown, and I'm gonna be completely like clear about why I had a breakdown. I have fixations. I have like I have I have like yeah, I didn't masturbate in front of him like in like a phone call twice, and I do and he unironically said poggers after, like not even as a joke. Like that's how he would respond to every type of nudes. Yeah. Anyways, thank you. Anyways, uh what triggered, like, got me kicked out of the harem was we started. I have a fixation. I used to. I'm trying to separate myself from that fixation. I used to have a fixation on a ship called Raylo, and a while ago there was an actor who said some sexist things, and there was like a squad of like uh who said some like misogynistic things on Twitter, and there was a bunch of people going around saying like anti Raylo stuff. While I learned later that that actor got a bunch of racist death threats and stuff. I wasn't really on there to see all of that, so my experience with it was basically a bunch of people coming into my curious cat and sending me like telling me like horrible things. So I proceeded to like that's it's really strange because that's one of the times I attempted to kill myself because of all that. And I had a bunch of pills with me, and I had to throw them up because I attempted to swallow all of them. And so I had a limited amount of pills, which could have contributed to the fact that I became suicidal because all my depression pills became fucking puke. Anyways, I had a mental breakdown. I had a full mental breakdown. And I during that mental breakdown, I said mean things about the members, which is kind of like why, like this became like a major plot point. Like yeah, you might have like broke down, you might have like attempted to suicide yourself, but you said some pretty mean things to me, girl. And it's like why? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said mean things during a mental breakdown which you kind of caused. I'm so sorry, girl. Anyways, that's how I got kicked out. I was ruled unsafe because I said mean things to the other members while getting kicked out. While having a mental breakdown. I'm I'm so like thank you. Like okay. Wow. That's how we're anyways, that being announced that I was getting kicked out, actually like kicked out, not allowed back in, made me extremely suicidal because there was a huge opportunity for me to get a better life, a better, and these girls kicked me out because I said mean things to them. in a mental breakdown. Like, I even apologized. I even like thought about the whole ordeal of what happened to the celebrity. And if you ask me my thoughts about what happened to that celebrity now, I'll tell you a different story than I would uh now, because even though he said misogynistic things to a fictional character, it was still not all right for him to get like uh 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 racist death threats. Anyways, black how will we, I will be streaming this as long as I need to tell my story. But if anyone, if you need me to I will like post this on my page, so it will be like forever posted and people can refer to it back. Okay. So anyways, I got kicked out of the harem, and I remember like one of the members who peop one of the members called me and said I was kicked out. I remember throwing the phone and running straight out of my house to go straight to the bridge. It was one of the most terrifying moments of my life, because when I ran to that bridge, there was two ladies who saw me, and police showed up. I had to take a detour, but when I walked back from the detour, there were police, and I remember what Xanderhal told me when I was telling this part. He said I was manipulating him because when I was telling this part to him, he said it was emotional. He said it was emotional, like I was scared that the cops would rape me. Like I'm honestly like terrified of the police here. And I remember telling Xanderhal about this, and he said, "Oh, you're just trying to manipulate me." We'll get to that phone call later. But anyways, I I was sent to the hospital for 5 days. I told medical staffs why I freaked out and stuff like that, my entire story. And those psychologists agreed that I was experiencing a trigger, and they were agreeing that that guy was manipulating me. And when I got out, of course, I was angry. I was pissed. If anything, I should have been in that hospital longer, but I'm doing okay. I should have probably been in the hospital longer, but I was so pissed. I was pissed that I was manipulated like that. I was pissed that I was told that. Oh, sorry. Anyways, I went to the hospital for 5 days. I went to the hospital for 5 days, and, I was, manipulated. They told me, I was manipulated. I was, everything, and to go back home later to finally, tell my story, and to be told I was the abusive one. It. What? Oh, okay. I was the abusive one, apparently. And, honestly, I started to believe it. I started to believe it when my tweet got like popular and stuff like that. I started to believe that I was the abusive one. Until the following day, after I talked to Xanderhal in the call. I started crying in that call. And he told me something. Thank you, Jolene. Anyways, Xanderhal told me something. He told me while I was crying, while he was emotionally like still, that Spooky, stop crying. Women crying make me uncomfortable. I was just so shocked at how like emotionless he was. He was claiming that he was creeped out by me. He was claiming that I was terrified, like creeping him out and stuff like that. Later did I find out from my friend Pan Fried Egg, who was there, that he had a bunch of people there in that phone call, reading down my tweets while laughing, saying poggers, mimicking like my tweets while reading a Donald Trump voice. Yes, the girl who's busting out crying in her bedroom, crying in her mom's arms because I told her about it. Like I told her that I was gonna move in with him. I fully believed him, but me crying into my mom's arms, worried and scared, while he was reading tweets claiming he was creeped out by me with his buddies, with his other fans. Yeah, you're so creeped out, Alex. You're so creeped out. I found out a lot actually after like tweet the tweets got popular. I told him to delete those tweets so he wouldn't be caught. He blamed me for saying, "Ooh, you're trying to get the woke scolds against me." It was later his own tweets that backfired in his fucking face. I'm sorry. It was I told him. Yeah, basically. Anyways, I told him to delete all his tweets when I left that call. I know. I know, but I know you guys were already against him. But there was this he was like saying in like the call with me, the final call he had with me, that you were trying to get the woke scold's attention, which like the woke scold's attention, which low key I honestly kind of was. You can't like people are gonna use that against me, but I'm sorry. Like you did something really shitty to me. Like why would I need to do that? Why would I need to respect your boundaries? For a while I was thinking, you know what? He's better for the left. He's better for everyone, but the more weeks it passed with him, like with me like thinking about it, like turmoiling in my brain, I would start like randomly getting angry because I remembered what happened. I thought I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be so respectful to him still, even though it all happened. I remember being one of and then I like tweeted a huge tweet about it. I tweeted a huge tweet about it, and it didn't even get popular. You know what made it got popular? He saw it. He saw one of his friends seeing it, and he started like commenting on it. And at the end of what all happened, it was his own fucking tweet thread that made him look fucking like a stupid asshole. It was his own fucking tweet thread who got him fucking caught. I deleted all my tweets, or most of them, all I could delete. But he unironically, like, got caught himself. It was such a... I can't help but to laugh. He was spending the entire time, like, he was spending, like, a huge time. He spent the entire time, like, saying, oh, you're gonna get me caught and stuff like that. You're an abusive manipulator. Well, it ended up him getting his ass caught. I told him, like, I deadass told him, hola. Hola means hello, hello. Anyways, hello. Like, anyways, he got his ass caught. I can't help but think I have my friend Xander, Alex, different Xander, not Alex, but yeah, basically Eblub. I remember him telling my ex, now best friend, Xavier, that he was a simp for protecting me. Honestly, this whole thing, I remember being in those streams, watching those streams about, like, how he, armchair psychology, some of you guys who are in this, thing right now, watching, and, this stream, not this thing, this stream watching, I remember watching some of that stuff, but strangely enough, he didn't do that with me. Hi. He didn't do that with me. Social justice demon, you go by he, him, right? I want to be clear because the most I know about you is actually from those fucking streams. I'm so sorry. Like, because he called you they, them, or something. Yeah, it's like, I'm confused, a little confused about that whole thing, but, anyways, I remember watching those streams, and then armchair psychiatrist in all of you, him armchair psychology you guys and stuff like that. Yet he didn't do that with me, which is strange, but I kind of figured out why. Him armchair psychologizing me would basically be this. I lied to an autistic person about having her moving in with her, so she's reasonably angry at me. Of course he did. Yeah, I remember his, like, excuse for it was, like, he wanted to become more neutral, so it would become normalized and stuff like that for the they, them, like, stuff, like, at first glance, it seems reasonable, but then you think, you're still misgendering the person. Anyways, anyways, after that blew up, he made a final thread about it and stuff like that. A lot of his fans tried to claim it wasn't a sexual relationship when it was like objectively a sexual relationship. They don't understand. It made me realize that they don't understand the difference between romantic relationship and sexual relationship, because I have like DMs of him flirting with me. I have like DMs of him like joking around, asking me for nudes and stuff like that. I have him playfully flirting with me. I have him like use some of my kinks to flirt with me. Like it was all consensual. I want to make this clear. It was all consensual, but still I still have those DMs. Like if anything. And I'll be honest here too. When I was a part of his like little group, I was the biggest fucking snitch. I was trying to be the goodest girl of all time. If anyone said anything bad about Xander, I would instantly go to him. If anyone, like, I was extremely loyal. If anyone, like, if I saw something on my Twitter thread bad mouthing him, I would tell him about it. I was like, jeez. I understand Black Magic Bimbo, but I don't want to go as far as that, because that would just lead to another huge thing that I don't think I would be able to win. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, like, I was a fucking snitch. I was a fucking, like, I was a terror among I was a terror. And I remember when Xanderhal was like I was on like his like a stream after his his like conversation with that not Bernie or Buster. And with that not Bernie or Buster, he was like no voting for Biden, which honestly now I'm like, I feel so disillusioned by that, like that conversation now. Anyways, I remember being at the end of that stream, like, I have to admit, I was a bit shocked when he said the R slur. I was like my eyes opened as like, oh, you're not supposed to say that. And a lot of the relationship was like, a lot of my like contentions during that relationship were kept quiet. The only time where I like said, hey, you need to stop doing this, is with the R slur. I have like screenshots of that as well, like on my Twitter somewhere. Anyways, I was on his stream once to prove that I was, if there needs to be proof that I was in a like you know I was in a stream. What else? What else? If I do need other proof, I do. Oh, my room was such a mess. If I do need more proof about stuff, here is a full document of proof that I was in the hospital. A lot of the conversations that happened and a lot of the stuff that happened within the like Xanderhal, with the Xanderhal like server was on VC. A lot of it was on VC. So I can't prove a lot of stuff. All I can do is like bring in my friends to say, hey, yeah, that conversation happened, and yeah, this, that, and all this happened. Like, here's a full document of me getting, I'm not gonna show all of it. Luckily, for, the last page, it's just, if you need to call anyone. I wouldn't be, don't worry, I'm not gonna show them, proof of, my, stuff like that. I just, have, the document here to, stuff like that. And luckily, that last page was nothing but, hey, if you need help, just call, stuff like that. Anyways, it's, my complete, medical record of me getting re-diagnosed with, different meds and stuff like that, which have been helping a lot. They have been, helping a lot. And by the way, if you do see those screenshots of me freaking out about, Raylo and stuff like that, that was me from my mental breakdown. Oh, don't worry, I'm not showing my personal info or anything. Oh yeah, I have gotten used to that. I had to start doing that when there was a situation with Vosh's server where we believed that there was a kid within the not safe for work section. The kid ended up proving he was 18, and that when he was saying he was 16, he was just trying to be cool and say I did drugs at 16 and stuff like that, and stuff he ended up proving he was 18. We still talk now, but after that entire ordeal, I I decided to start screenshotting everything, because honestly, if people are gonna sweep under things really quickly and stuff like that, I could get into the Voss situation later, but if people are gonna sweep under the dangers and stuff like that of kids ending up in the not safe for work section of a server which that goes past by yeah that goes past by, it's if you're gonna sweep under rug that whole stuff, and okay, he unironically doesn't care about honestly, here's the thing, he deleted all his channels where he where people of color could talk to each other and stuff like that, and the reason why is it's a bit understandable that you want to delete a channel after as people aren't talking in it, but since the server is growing and growing and growing, it is it's gonna get filled up and talked into eventually. And the fact that they would rather delete that, where a safe space for people of color, but not delete a place where children can lie easily to get into a server, get into a place where adults will think that everyone there is 18 plus, and where a place where honestly anyone who's within the LGBTQ community can be outed, and also a place where Nazis can easily just be quiet and get in there because they pass through trying to debate, or they're just passing through to cause trouble, is very unsafe. It's a very unsafe place, and it's kind of disgusting how that he'd rather not provide a safe space and just add a chat where people can talk about intersectional, LGBTQ and intersectional race issues, rather than actually protect the safety of not out trans women, children, adults who are 18 plus who think that everyone else there is 18 plus, and you know, Nazis who might want to groom children or groom uh, or harass trans women, trans men, trans people, LGBTQ people who post on there. Anyways, I'm sorry about that. Anyways, uh, anyways, so recently Xanderhal has talked about this entire. Yeah, Vosh does has his dick. I've seen it. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty big. God. And by the way, when I say it's like pretty big, he already knows that it's out in the public and he's okay with people saying that. I'm not gonna reveal Xanderhal's size because that would be violating his privacy. I might like joke about it, like, hey, you wanna know how big his dick is for $100? But I'm not gonna like actually like reveal his private parts. Yeah. You do not want. Yeah, no. God. Fucking hell. He could reveal my nudes if he wanted to. He would get a lot of trouble, but he could, if he actually saved them and stuff like that, he could have, like, he could share them around. Luckily for him, I don't care that much. Anyways, I think I went by the whole story. Yeah, anyways, he wanted to talk about, like, the entire thing, like, on stream. Like, on stream with another person about what happened. And, while there were times where he was obviously joking about the house, you know, getting a house, having us all move in, there's times where he was being more obvious with it. With the joking. There was times he was completely not obvious and he had, like, the opportunity to say, hey, I'm joking, rather than, like, tell me, oh, I'm completely serious, like, stuff like that. And, I just feel like I honestly wanted more of this opportunity to happen, like, to talk about this when when I'm planning to stream in the future, like, having an actual, like, streaming, like, kit and, you know, not kit, but, like, setup. It's gonna be all nice and pink. Anyways, I was planning to do that, so if anytime the opportunity comes around, he wants to, like, actually, like, you know, yeah. Unironically, yeah, just that entire not safe for work section where we all flirted with each other and obviously had sex, you know, more than a normal relationship, friendship, and, you know, obviously had some sort of sexual relationship. Just a joke, just kidding, just kidding, girl, just kidding, haha, got him. Oh God. Uh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, I wanted to, like, you know, I wanted to actually, like, build a computer and stuff like that before, you know, have my, you know, at least have, like, an entire, like, group behind me before any of this, like, had to happen, you know, me talking about it. But, you know, yeah. So, I don't know what's gonna happen for the future. He's probably gonna still keep this thing going. This is honestly probably gonna be my final word about it. Like, I guess I can talk about the whole, like, what happened with that trans woman, on Destiny server. So, with, like, the girl, trans girl, what happened in the Destiny server, I feel completely bad now that I accidentally outed her because I didn't uh because we went to Destiny server. Xanderhal didn't, but the rest of Harem did, and they wanted to like bring someone along. So when they brought that someone along, I thought it was going to be Anna, another woman who was in the server. But when I saw like the other girl, I was I was a bit confused because since Xanderhal was a fan of Destiny, I assumed that it was a complete coincidence that she was there. So I said her name in front of everyone, like in the VC, which I do feel bad about. I complete that was on me. And I should have went to her and apologized when it first happened, but I didn't because later on, like 20, 15 minutes later, no one heard me say her name or no one listened to me or cared. What ended because she ended up she ended up getting outed because her profile picture was of a girl in a trans flag, someone who was like looking, and stuff like that. And I thought I was off the hook, because even though I accidentally said her name, I might have accidentally also typed her name in like a voice chat thing as well because I was surprised and I didn't know she was the girl that I was supposed to be quiet about because I assumed that she was like just in there by coincidence because a lot of those fan bases like intersect with like Vosh's and Xanderhals and stuff like that. So I do feel really bad about that, but what has me suspicious is that uh, I remember like her retweeting about that, and her tweeting about that, and then Xanderhal like retweeting it saying, "Oh yeah, I forgot that happened," and it was like, you weren't there. What? Like, unless like she told him privately about it, like, which I wish she would have rather just came to me, but honestly, I should have just went to her instead. Uh, unless she like told Xanderhal about this, this was a really bad, like, either they were either what happened is that she told Xanderhal about it, or what happened was he's being a fucking liar about it. Which, honestly, with everything that happened, I think it's gonna be the latter. Anyways, even though. Yeah. Yeah, it was a complete accident. It was. I had honestly. When I saw the tweets, I shouldn't have like accused her of doing it to like immediately accused her of like just saying that because just to besmirch my name. But honestly, within the tweets that of me and her arguing went on, it I was kind of on the right path since I I she blocked me on everything. So even though I should have like when I first saw it should have apologized rather than I went in there angry because of what happened, like everything that happened was happening and going on. So when I went in there angry, and I think I blocked her or she blocked we blocked. I think we blocked each other. I have no idea. And so even if I have even if like I even I'm not trying to say even if I wanted to because I do want to, even though I even though I want to, I can't. but within the whole conversation, it was very obvious that was kind of the plan instead. Yeah, I could tweet an apology. Yeah, I'll probably tweet an apology like after this stream. Like when we argued and stuff, she accused me of never being an abuse survivor, and when I told like people about like what Xanderhal said to me about like crying and stuff like that, she was all like, "Oh, you know he had abusive like past with like fucking like with women and stuff like that, and you know he was abused by women." It's like, yeah, but I was also sexually abused. I was abused based on my like I was sexually abused. I was mentally abused and stuff like that. I've experienced like ableism my entire like younger life, and somehow that's like he's free to be like yeah, it's not free pitch. He's free to he's free to be like misogynistic because of the abuse he suffered, but me like saying you were abusive, you manipulated me by saying all these stuff like about nicer house and stuff. Oh, that's me being abusive. That's me being abusive when like that's being abusive, and all you do is use your abuse uh it just felt like a bad, even though I do feel really bad for like outing her like in that situation. Uh uh I do not feel like it was like him like completely uh him like saying, "Hey, oh my god, I remember this happening." Like him like saying all that, he's like, "Oh, I forgot about that." It just felt like a bit of a plot, you know what I mean? So even though what I did was wrong, and I was being stupid, and I don't remember a lot from what happened that night in like Destiny server, because that was the night I like masturbated in front of Xanderhal. So I might have done something worse, but and I completely like apologize for that if I did do something worse like that during that night. But my mind was is kind of completely frazzled with the fact that I masturbated in front of him. Then he later decided to dry me up by saying poggers immediately after, unironically. Oh, jeez, I can't believe he says poggers after sex. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, anyways, there was also during like the tweets he made about me after like he got caught red-handed. He tried to accuse me of being sex negative for some reason because I listed the sexual things we did within the server, which is fucking weird. Like, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm a fucking slut. I'm whore, harlot, slut. I, I'm very sex positive, and I was just listing the things that happened within the server. So he's like saying, "I'm trying to kink shame." I was like, no, I was just like, woo, yeah. I was just trying to list the entire things that happened during our time together, and during what happened with the other members, to prove that it was obviously like a sexual thing that happened. Like one of the members, she had a hand fetish, and I said we all complied. We took pictures of our hands. She was really into hands, and we posted them. He would constantly post hand pics for her, and that's fine, and that's not like bad. Yeah, I was trying to like inform people, and then he's like, "Oh, you sound a bit kink shaming." It's like, and he's like trying to push this idea that the relationship wasn't a sexual one, when it was obviously a sexual relationship. Like I said before, romantic doesn't equal sexual. Just because I thought it was going to be romantic in the future with maybe a few harem members and, ending up, shooing away because they weren't interested in that huge thing. Solidarity, yeah, exactly. Even though I honestly did believe that there was going to be something romantic in the future, and even though I didn't think all the harem members were going to stay for that, even though I thought members were all gonna not gonna stay for all that, like I was hoping that maybe that was me being like hopeful or something, or me just misreading misreading messages, but I thought I was gonna become like, after that's unironically how members got like accepted within the polycule. Like, oh, there's a new girl who wants to be invited in. You guys talk amongst each other. He honestly no, I have not seen his video about it. I don't know who they are. Oh, thank you. Anyways, I'm trying to I'm now that I'm like out of that community, I'm trying to like reevaluate all my stuff, who I watch and stuff like that. Who should I stick to watching? Like like I I no longer have the stomach to watch Xanderhal. I thought like I would be able to do it, but I can't like look into his face while he like talks about like transphobia and stuff like that. And anyways, social justice demon. Anyways, I guess I can give out my opinions on the whole thing about like the trans girl thing. I honestly felt really if I was still in that server, I would have felt extremely betrayed, because I made an effort during my time in that harem to say he isn't transphobic. It's just a coincidence. There's a bunch of cis girls in here, and I thought he was actually interested in trans women. And it was just a coincidence that he didn't have like a trans woman in there. Well, I'm glad now that he didn't have a trans woman in there, romantically, sexually appealing to people. There was like Anna, who she wasn't exactly part of the harem, but she would watch over us and stuff like that and interact with us. But I'm now I'm kind of like glad that guys didn't have trans community didn't have to suffer with that problem of being part of the anyways because I thought he was like fully in, he was accepting of all that stuff. Like I saw him like talk about how ContraPoints is. Now that I'm like thinking about how like creepy that was, like he would always comment on women's appearances when he's like watching like a video that's from like a woman reactionary. He would always comment on their appearance, which is kind of fucking weird. Like, go after their points, not their appearance. Anyways, yeah, objectification. And anyways, can't wait till he like watches the stream and sees like, oh, she looks like Ariel Sarcella, which he roasted me. He got me there. Anyways, even though even though it was objectification, it was objectification. I thought, even though it was like, now that I think about it, technically objectification, what he was doing, like to ContraPoints and to trans women who passed and stuff like that. I did feel like I was lied to a bit. Like, if I was still in that like polycule, I would definitely feel betrayed, but I would have been super quiet about it. Like how how I was quiet about the name of the harem. I knew it was. I thought it was like a reference to anime at first, so I was like, oh yeah, that. And then someone said within the harem chat, like one of the mods said, so are you gonna do all the stuff that's actually required from a harem, like, providing, stuff like that? And it's like, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, you should. It's like, yeah, he should be like going by like the actual like rules, but like, and it's like it wasn't Islamic. It wasn't an Islamic thing as well. So it wasn't an Islamic thing as well. So it's like, is there another thing we could call it? But I never like brought it up because honestly, like, I I probably would have been like I probably would have been told it's just a joke, type of thing. The name is just a joke, which I thought the name was only just a joke. The harem like name, because he was referencing Destiny. He told me he was referencing Destiny when he called it a harem, but that doesn't mean that I didn't think the harem, like the concept of the whole thing, was a joke. He was only saying it was a joke with its name the entire time. Uh, Anyways, I guess that's my side of the story. I don't know what else to say. Like, if there's any questions within what happened, I'll answer them here. But if there's not, I'm gonna end the stream and like keep this up so people have something to reference to. So I have something to reference to about talking about my experience within the harem and stuff like that. Like, uh, this has all been such a shitty fucking thing to deal with. I uh at the start, when I was like at the start, like my opinion is like, of course, since I saw it as a huge opportunity, I had nothing but positive thoughts about it. And even I had nothing but positive thoughts about it. Like, and everyone who said, "Oh, it's a bit creepy" and stuff like that, I thought, these people are trying to stop me from like getting a nicer house. These people are trying to like stop me from like getting a better life and stuff like that. And so I would always snitch on them. That's one of the reasons why I would snitch on them. But now that I think about it, like after all of this happening, I know it kind of like sounds shitty, but after it happened to me, I kind of realized it was creepy. It was manipulative. It was like him going into his not safe for work section after like having his mods take my ID information and stuff like that to enter, to invite me into something which he has no idea, which is strange since he claims to be like against ableism, stuff like that, but he doesn't know anything about autism. It's very obvious he doesn't know any of the like symptoms and stuff like that. Yeah, basically black magic, and basically he doesn't know any of. He doesn't even know my full extent to my conditions of what I have and stuff like that, which I'm not gonna blame him for, since I've only told him about like, I think I've only told him about the autism. Ah, okay. I didn't want to call you Carmilla because I didn't want to. I didn't want to like out you or anything like that. Anyways, like before the whole thing happened, just in January, I broke up with an. I had an abusive relationship with a woman, where she was like a full blown like she was very. She honestly like she was a Nazi. I I was constantly scared of her. I was constantly scared of her. Like I was scared of her. Every time like I like tried to like step up, and stuff like that, she would where I would step up and say, "Hey, you're treating me wrong." She would threaten to commit suicide. She would also like threaten to beat me up and stuff like that. There were times where I was like, she would say, "Hey, if we met, I would beat the shit out of you." And I know she was going through a lot. I know she had bipolar. I know that a lot of her family didn't accept her for uh, what she was going through, and and I know it sounds shitty, but I would also constantly cheat on her because she was always so emotionally like abusive and emotionally rude and stuff like that. She would say my appearance was like low tier and stuff like that. Not I wasn't very good looking, and then she would like have these really sassy, mean comments about like, "Oh, I'm afraid of beautiful women." It's like, and then she would say, "If I'm dating you, it's because you're not that scary." It's like she was she. I'm not sure if she had any. So if I can ask you one clarification, Xanderhal seeked you out for the harem after you have posted. Yeah. After I immediately like I posted like nudes of my body and stuff. I remember him like posting like a Pepe heart, Pepe hug. I have the emote in my own server. Uh, but he started like posting like saying stuff like booby and giving like compliments and stuff like that. And then then it all like culminated like a few days later where he like where he like talked to me on his like VC server in front of a bunch of people. Then he went into my server asking about if I wanted to join the harem. So yeah, I guess he kind of seeked me out. It feels like he might have had an eye on me because apparently I have an attractive body. Not to brag. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. He definitely seeked you out, yeah. Yeah, I understand. He seeked me out. Uh, mm, I guess if that's like all the questions or anything like that. Uh, I've been having a bad sleeping schedule, so I'm sorry. Like I woke some of you up at like 4 o'clock to like 3 o'clock to 2 o'clock to even 1 o'clock. I've been trying to fix it, and honestly, I think I think I've honestly fixed it better because I was able to like. It's about Xanderhal is dealing. Yeah, he is kind of. I can't tell you if he has a nice house. Yeah, I understand. I don't want to like. If any of you like watch his content, or if any of you watch his content or anything, like, I'm not going to. I'm not gonna like hate on you specifically, since some of that content is like calling out like alt-right members and stuff like that, so it's like understandable. So to like is this daycare? You know what, it is daycare. Duh, but I don't know. anyways uh anyways uh if any of you like watch his content, like I'm not going to like be angry at you or anything. Like I sometimes still watch like ContraPoint's content and stuff like that, even though I know she said problematic things. Like I I do criticize, like I do now, like criticize ContraPoints for like her I'm okay. Oh, it's so fun. Anyways, I do like some criticize some of her like points and how she's trying to make it and stuff like that. I won't understand the I'm not standing up, and I'm not gonna like uh not gonna like besmirch people who like criticize her content, because I don't know how it feels to be a non-binary trans person or anything like. Yeah, I'm not going to like be angry at people who have more experience than me of being a non-binary person and stuff like that. And so I'm not gonna like besmirch people on like participating, watching like left to material and stuff like that. I just have personal problems with like Xanderhal and stuff like that. And uh and I do feel like that a lot of like, I think Cap. Oh yeah, she does. She does. Like I've seen her recent video on like not Shame, but like uh yeah. Oh, I understand. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've seen some of this stuff. I saw the last video where I remember watching it. Like I was so glad that she like defended like people like Christina or Christine, I believe, like Christine Chan. I don't know. Uh, so do you guys support furries then? Yeah, sure. I guess I don't know. I and I'm like I was glad that I I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I was glad that she like defended her and stuff like that, and she went after people like Blair White, but then she had to like ruin it by like saying like weird stuff about like that one lady, Sarah Tonin, that I only know her rap name. It's like she wasn't doing stuff that was very feminine. It's like and the girl was having a mental breakdown. Yeah, it's like the girl was obviously having a mental breakdown, and honestly, I've had mental breakdowns like that, like where I was yelling and screaming to people and stuff like that. Yeah, it's where I was like she wasn't acting very feminine. It's like that's a weird expectation to have on trans women. Like, oh, even cis white women have like had mental breakdowns like that, filmed and recorded and stuff like that. Like we've seen Karen videos where they're acting like assholes and stuff like that. They're not acting very feminine. Like I understand that she does like feel like this like dysphoria like from other people, but she should be more clear that it's like her own personal mind. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, God, it's like it's a very it's a weird standard to have trans women in, and a lot of people are it's like it wouldn't be as bad if she like made it clear that it was like her like inner thoughts, that like inner transphobia, like preying on her mind and stuff like that, making her feel this way. Like, I know she used to have like trigger warnings in the beginning of her video. I'm not sure if this one had a trigger warning, and it I know that I know this YouTuber who yeah, I know this YouTuber who, his name's like Dead Meme James, and he does this thing where he's like, for like a photosensitive people, he like puts on like a noise where there's about to be some photosensitivity and stuff like that. Oh, the harem was, at first the harem was in the same server, but more and more people started to complain about it, so one of the harem members decided to make the harem server. While I thought it was going to be Xanderhal who ended up making a separate server, it was one of the harem members who did it, which I kind of do feel like uh do feel like it's shitty, like shitty to like have like a harem member have to do that for you. So if something bad happens, technically the harem member made it. But the not safe for work section, I have no idea if it exists anymore in his own server. I'm pretty sure Nahiram can like say if it's there still or not. But anyways, it used to be like in the main server, like the not safe for work section was in the main server. The harem section was in the main server for uh mains. Then the harem, like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, yeah. Oh, hi Lizzie, I think I know who you are. uh anyways uh anyways I'm gonna be I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think they deleted the server. They might have deleted, Aisha might have deleted the server that she made for like the harem, but I don't think they deleted the harem. I think they're completely still going on, and they made a rule that they have to be quiet. Yeah. Yeah, I know who you are, Kodo. I used Sir Dick Weasel the Third. That's why I used to go. I gave you that nickname in the like Xanderhal server. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think they're still fucking going with it. I wouldn't be surprised if like Michigan left, because from my sources, she said that she completely hated Xanderhal. She completely hated Xanderhal. So if she left, if anything, I think she had the same motives as I did of like moving into a house. Like, not moving into a house, but at least having a bit of like power or something like that. Something like around that. She was in that harem for some reason, and I cannot tell you why. I think it's so there might have been, Brit might have left. I don't think Brit, if out of like all the members, I think Michigan left completely. But if this is just speculatory, by the way, but if yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. They're Britt is probably still in there being quiet about it, while Aisha and Lonnie, who I had to get vetted by Lonnie. Uh, oh, by the way, during the entire thing, after getting vetted by Lonnie and told to, she broke up with him, and he had her living in her car. He was sending money to her periodically, like $2,000, like sometimes, but Michigan. Oh, what the fuck? She posted nudes herself. Oh, was I supposed to say that? Fuck. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. Anyways, everyone was being sexual. Like, everyone was flirting with each other. Everyone was talking about their kinks and stuff like that. Like, and stuff like that. It's like, I everyone was like posting their nudes and stuff like that. Even Xander posted his dick pic. Like, the lie that to say, even though it wasn't maybe as like like maybe it wasn't like as much as like, okay, yeah, you go get some weed. I want some weed, but it's illegal in my state, so I can't get weed. uh, Even though like we all posted like nudes and stuff like that, it's like I just move, just move to another. Anyways, the idea that it wasn't sexual at all. It was very sexual. We talked about our kinks. I masturbated in a call with Xanderhal. It's fucking stupid to say it wasn't sexual at all. I still think they're extremely I think a lot of people are extremely confused between romantic and sexual, because they cannot be this bad faith without like at least being confused or anything about it. Anyways, I do believe that Harem is still going on, and they made it a rule that they have to be fucking quiet about it. I still believe that I'm not sure if Britt left, but I'm gonna be honest, she's probably still in there. And so is, like you said, Aisha's still there. They still have that relationship going. I was there, like, watching, when I was in that thing, I was, like, watching his, like, fucking, like, streams and stuff, because I thought it was my duty, like, stuff like that. Yeah, he did. Anyways, I still think that harem's going on. Dead ass. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes sure the new members cannot if he decides to invite new members in, they cannot talk about it outside the server. They cannot, he's probably making rules like that. And you know what? I told him, it's probably going to end up happening again as well. It probably deadass is going to happen again. And the more it keeps happening, yeah. When I first said I'm going to tell the world about this, I was thinking I have to do it for the other girls who eventually will get invited. Yeah, but now more that I think about it, even though there is still that sentiment, I did it for me. I did it for me. Like, I needed closure. I needed something. Now that, even though I did it somewhat for me, hopefully it won't happen again. But with my speculation and knowing how Xanderhal is, I think it will happen again. I think a deadass will happen again. Honestly, I will be shocked if it's one of the original members. He had a full on plan inviting thousands of girls in there. While I think he was being a bit hyperbolic and jokey, I don't think he was lying about that sentiment. That he was going to have a main council and then he was going to have a bunch of girls in there. And honestly, I would not be surprised if that's going right now. Or going to happen in the main future. Okay. That's the end of my side of the story. If anything else comes up, I'll make a stream about it or I'll make a tweet about it. Follow me at Peach Soda, Peach, capital Peach, 2_ soda, capital cola, no, not soda, cola. And to see if anything else happens, and I'll keep this stream up so people can have something to refer to before if I ever need it, because honestly I have no power in this situation. I have to go to other YouTubers to defend my positions and stuff like that. I have to go to Corvidae, I have to go to Sloth Slime, I'm gonna have to go to that trans chick or anything. People with a huge following and stuff like that. And well, I do plan on streaming, so I at least have that huge following. Yeah, thank you, Camilla. I'm still gonna fight it. He wants to say he's the victim of all this. He's the one who's creeped out when I'm the one who's living in a leaking house. The house that leaks. Crying my ass off to my mom, when stuff like this happens. Okay. Yeah, he hopes to get 75,000 subscribers by the end of this year. 50 to 75,000 to 100,000. I think he's probably either going to go to 50 or 75, but yeah. So I'm just going to end the stream here. If you have any more questions, either announce them out now or go to my Twitter, for it. I'm kind of pooped. And see ya.